to episode 2 of Book Girl Summer. Today we actually have a pretty gloomy rainy day, and it is actually the perfect day to read Twilight, I think. But I actually started Percy Jackson last night. This is how much I read. It is a German book, and obviously Percy Jackson is more for 12-year-olds probably, but I love Percy Jackson. It was my obsession when I was a kid, and this came out I think 2 years ago. This is the 6th book in the series. I waited very long to get it because I wanted the paperback, because I have the paperback in all of the other books, and these books only come out in hardcover for the first like 1 or 2 years, which doesn't make sense to me at all. So I waited a very long time to get this, and now it's finally time to read it. Obviously I already read the majority of it, but it's okay. We're gonna finish this together, and then we're actually finally gonna use the wheel for the first time. If you have no idea what the wheel is, this is the wheel. It has my whole summer TBR, actually all of the books that I haven't read yet that I own on here. And after we finish this one, which is probably gonna be in about an hour I think, we're gonna spin the wheel and then read whatever the wheel tells me to read. But I'm gonna finish this book right now. The 7th part of this series is actually out as well, but only in the hardcover version. The hardcover cover is very pretty, but I'm gonna hold up buying it until it comes out in paperback once again, because they're over there, that's why I'm looking there. But I just want all of them to be kind of the same, so they're actually one series. And I think it's so fun that the author actually came up with more books, because I feel like Percy's story wasn't over when kind of the war ended. I wanted more of him, and there it is. And now he's 17, so it doesn't feel like I'm reading about an actual child. He's at least like a legit teenager now, and it's so fun because the trio, Annabeth, Grover and Percy, they're just so fun. I love them so much. I love being in this little world and Percy's sarcasm. So we're gonna read this together. I'm thinking I'm probably actually gonna sit outside even though it's raining, because it's kind of like a nice summer rain, I think. So let's go outside and read. I'm gonna give this book 4 stars. I love it so much. I decided that I'm gonna give the whole Percy Jackson series 4 stars because I'm reading it as a 26-year-old, and I think 5 stars would be a little too much. I don't know, maybe I should give it 5 stars. Anyways, I love this book. The story is so cute, kind of. Obviously there's still the classic Percy Jackson almost dying stuff happening, but I love this. The end, so cute. I kind of want to read the next part like right now, but also I kind of do want to spread them out a little bit, or wait a little bit before I read the next one, because it's so nice to be back in Percy's world like once a year. I'm still hoping that the paperback of the last, I don't know if it's gonna be the last part of the 7th book, is gonna come out kind of soon, because I want to read it kind of soon. But Percy's task, I guess, is that he has to get 3 recommendation letters from Goth so that he can go to college. And in this book it was the first recommendation letter, so I'm not sure if the next book is gonna have 2 or if there's actually gonna be 2 more books, which would be great. I would be very excited for this. So a great start to this reading vlog, to this book I was gonna say. I love this book. Alright, let's pick the next book together. Again, this is what the wheel looks like. Red Rising! Oh my god, I've been meaning to start the series for so long, and I think that actually is perfect for today, because it is kind of fantasy but also sci-fi, and not like happy. Like, it doesn't require good weather to be good, like an Emily Henry book is better in good weather. Okay, so we're gonna start Red Rising today. Summer reading vlog. I just had to put on a sweatshirt, my cozy socks. I have a blanket right here. It is very cold. Anyways, we are gonna start Red Rising. I already have the ambience on the TV. My sister is obsessed with this book, and I think I owe it to her to start it now. I mean, also the wheel told me to. I don't really know anything about this book except that it's on another planet, and then there's like categories of people, and I think some of them are probably red. I think there's also a gold group, and they have different things that they need to do, like things that they're assigned. I know also that it's a pretty long series, and yeah, we're just gonna go into this kind of a little bit blind. So yeah, let's get into this book. That's the ambience, by the way. It looks really cool. Good morning. I just got back from a little run, so ignore the hair, but I'm now ready for a day full of reading. So let's update. I am page 160, so almost halfway through Red Rising, and I do have to say I like the writing style, like the wording and stuff, but I'm not sure sci-fi is my thing. I get why people like it, but I just don't find it super interesting. It might also be wrong book, wrong time. I'm obviously still gonna keep reading it. I do like that it's quite brutal, but I need a little break from whatever is happening in the book sometimes. So I've decided that today we're also gonna start The Kiss Curse. I was gonna keep this book for Halloween, but I already kept it for Halloween last year and I didn't end up reading it. And this is just like a fun little, I don't know if it's romantasy. Obviously there's romance happening. It is fantasy because there's witches, so I guess technically it would be romantasy, but it basically gives the same vibe as a cowboy romance, but there's witches. And I really like the first book, The Ex-Hex, and yeah, it's just a fun little book, so we're gonna read this today. The font is huge, so it's gonna be a very quick read, I think, which is perfect because this is kind of exactly what I need. It's again very gloomy today, so this book also matches the vibe. These books obviously are very different, but they're kind of perfect for today. I'm hoping I'm gonna get at least halfway through this one today, and then maybe 200 pages into this one. If you've read this book, I am at the start of their, I'm gonna call them trials, I don't really know, like the institute where they're taken to that other place and they have to conquer each other. That's where I'm at right now, if you're wondering. And this one, I haven't started yet, so I can't really say anything about it, but I know that it's about Vivi's, the girl from the first book's cousin, and then the brother of the guy from the first book. I did order some silly little cowboy romances yesterday night because one, there's 10% off on English books, and two, I have so many serious books right now because the books I gravitate towards, if I have like a little time in between uni, is always gonna be easy, silly little books. So I never get to the big fantasy books. So I did order some more, so I have a few more funny, silly little books to read during the summer, because I am also going on a little reading retreat, I guess, with my sister in a couple weeks, so I need some silly little books for that. Anyways, let's get to the books that I ordered. One of them should actually get here tomorrow, I think. Okay, so we have One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I read two of her books last year. One of them I absolutely loved. The other one I didn't really like, but this one has really good reviews, so I'm thinking it's gonna be good. Then we have Homebound by Meredith Trapp. That was recommended based on the Rebel Blue Ranch series. And then I also, as I mentioned in the last vlog, I ordered Cash by Jessica Peterson. That's supposed to be really good, and the cover is so cute. The last one's actually not gonna be for summer because it doesn't come out until end of September, I think. Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I love the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and especially Lila Sage's writing style and how she incorporates kind of deeper topics into silly little romance books. And this one is set in a ghost town. The cover is stunning, and I just know I'm gonna really like this book because I loved all of her other books. So that's my little book haul. Those are not gonna be here today, so let's focus on the books we're gonna read today. I think I'm actually gonna start with this one, sit outside for a little bit in the rain, and just have a cozy little day. I am 150 pages into The Kiss Curse. It's such a fun book. I love it so much. Wells is Dame Salvatore. Grumpy, tall, dark hair, and piercing blue eyes. Who else could I picture? He's Dame Salvatore. They're really fun. I think that they're probably gonna get together kind of quickly because it's like half of the book is already over and I just want them to be together. I think this book is fun. This was the perfect little break from Red Rising. I might even finish this today because it's just, this didn't even, I think this took me like an hour to read maybe, and usually I read like maybe 60 pages in an hour, so I am quite fast. But it's a great book. I love it so much. I'm getting to the kind of dramatic end of the book and we have this much left, and it's raining really like heavily and thundering, and it's the perfect setting. I love it so much. This is turning into kind of a fall reading vlog, to be honest. I was expecting this week to be warm like the rest of these weeks, but I don't know, this weather actually is pretty good for reading too, at least reading books like this. But anyways, I'm almost done. There is, it's not a third act breakup, but there is a third act bad thing happening, and I saw this coming. I knew that this person was gonna not be as good as everybody thought. I knew it. So let's see if they can solve it. Obviously they will, because it's a cutesy little romance book. But yeah. That was so cute. I really like this book. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Not 5, just because it's just a silly little book, you know, but I really enjoyed it, and I think I might actually read the 3rd part too, because it's probably gonna be about the 3rd brother, I'm guessing, and I want to know more about him, because all I know so far is that his name is Bowen, I think, and that he has a beard and people think he's a werewolf, and I need to know more. So maybe that's gonna be my Halloween book of the year. But for now, we are getting back to Red Rising. I think I might take a little lunch break and then continue reading. I want to get to at least page 200 today, because I do not want to have this book turn into a reading slump, so I need to keep it going. But yeah, that book was so fun. I'm so glad that I did a little intermission with this. And now we're gonna get back to the serious, brutal stuff. I just finished Red Rising on my walk this morning. I don't really know what to rate it, because I'm not gonna be continuing the series, but I do think it's a very interesting book and I really like the writing style. I think sci-fi is just not my thing right now. I might end up reading more books of the series at a later point, but right now I just vibe with fantasy and crime and horror more than with sci-fi. But I still liked it, and I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars because it was good, but just not really my thing. Maybe 3.5, because the writing was really interesting. I really liked it. I really like when authors choose like interesting words and construct their sentences kind of differently, not just super basic, and that definitely hit that point. So yeah, let's go with 3.5 stars actually. And while I was listening to the audiobook, I knitted something and I need to show you because I'm obsessed and it is the cutest thing I ever made. So somebody in my family is expecting a baby in winter and I made this little sweater and I think it's so cute. I'm so proud because I did such a good job with the color switch, but it's so tiny. It's like the size of my head pretty much, and it's just so cute. And then I also made a tiny little matching hat for it, and I think this is just the perfect little set. Can you see that? I think I'm gonna probably make another set for that person, because I just love making baby clothes because it's so fun, because it's so fast. This took me, I think, a day and a half, and I wasn't knitting all day. This is so fun. This is also my first raglan sweater, which is this technique, I think. And yeah, I'm so proud of it. I also made this out of superwash yarn, so she can wash it in the washing machine and she doesn't need to hand wash it while having a baby, obviously. But yeah, I'm obsessed with them and I'm so proud. But I think that's gonna be it for this reading vlog. I actually did pretty good this week, I think. I read 3 books, which is pretty good. My Fable says I should read 9 books a month, I think, to actually meet my goal, which is 75 books. And for the past few months, I haven't been reading as much. But let's actually check. I haven't logged Red Rising yet because I just came on here to talk. But so far, I've read 22 books. Oh, it says this month I should read 11 books to keep up with my reading goal. But I can always just put it back down to 50 because 75 was pushing it a little bit, because this year uni is a lot more stressful than it was before. But yeah, I'm so glad that I'm actually really back into reading, and I'm so excited to pick out the next book, and we're gonna use the wheel again in the next video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.